It's 3 a.m. in a Planet Fitness parking lot in the richest country on Earth. Sarah's a nurse. She's got a degree, she's got a full-time job, and she's currently brushing her teeth in a gas station sink because her home has 4 wheels and a repo notice on the dash. Look at her. This isn't van life. There's no sunset. There's no aesthetic wood paneling. There's just the smell of damp clothes and the constant crushing fear of a knock on the window. She did everything right. She went to school. She works the double shifts. And her reward? A back seat that doubles as a bedroom. This isn't a personal failure. It's a systemic execution of the American dream. And tonight, you're going to see exactly how the math finally broke. Let's talk about the math, because the math is a lie. For 30 years, they told us, stay in school, get a career, pay your taxes, and you'll have a floor under your feet. But look at the numbers. Really look. In 1970, a week of minimum wage work could pay a month's rent. Today, you need to work 100 hours a week just to afford a studio in a city where the jobs actually are. We aren't talking about the unemployed. We are talking about teachers, mechanics, social workers, people who keep your world spinning while theirs is falling apart. The middle class isn't shrinking. It's being evicted. We've turned housing into a casino for billionaires. And the people who actually build the country, they're being kicked to the curb. Literally. Have you ever tried to sleep while wondering if the police are going to tow your bed? It's the psychological rot that kills you first. The secret. You show up to the office, you smell like a shower you took in a cold gym stall, and you smile. You pretend you have a kitchen. You pretend you have a fridge. But then the sun goes down and the trap closes. You're constantly calculating. Can I afford the gas to keep the heater on for an hour? Is this parking lot safe? What happens if my engine dies? If that car dies, you aren't just carless. You are lifeless. You lose the job because you can't get there. You lose the job because you look homeless. It's a spiral. A brutal, high-speed descent into a hole you can't climb out of. And don't you dare call this a housing shortage. There are more empty homes in this country than there are people sleeping in cars. But those homes aren't for you. They're assets. They're investments for private equity firms that would rather let a building rot than lower the rent. They bought the neighborhoods, they bought the trailer parks, and now they're coming for the last piece of dirt you can park on. They've commodified survival. They took the floor, the basic human need for shelter, and they turned it into a luxury product that the middle class can no longer afford to buy. So, what's the end game? Because Sarah isn't the bottom. She's the warning. She's what happens right before the whole thing snaps. When the people who save lives, when the people who teach your kids, when the people who keep the lights on can't afford to live in the community they serve, that community is already dead. We aren't living in cars because we want to be free. We're living in cars because the system is a trap, and the door's just locked. Tell me, how much longer do you think your math is going to hold? Check the comments. Read the stories. You'll realize you're closer to that back seat than you think. Go home, if you still have one.